April from April's Home, and today I'm here with two Starbucks drinks, two cold Starbucks drinks, and I thought that I would try out this new one in particular. This is the Caramel Waffle Cone Frappuccino, and at my Starbucks it just came out for the summer, and it looks really delicious. As you know, if you've watched any of my other coffee reviews, I love anything caramel flavored. So this just sounds delicious. Caramel and waffle cones. I love waffle cones. I think they're delicious. So I thought that I would go ahead and try this out and give you my first impression. And then also, just in case I didn't like this drink, I picked up one of my new favorites. It's not a new drink, but it's a new favorite. It's the iced caramel macchiato, and I add caramel drizzle and whipped cream to the top because I just like that little extra sweetness. And I've been enjoying this almost more than the caramel frappuccino. My go-to drink used to be the caramel frappuccino, and now my new favorite has been lately the iced caramel macchiato. I love it. It's so good. So anyway, I got this as a backup just in case I don't like the flavor of this. Sometimes the new beverages just have a taste that I just don't like as much, so I thought I'd have a backup just in case. Anyway, though, this drink looks delicious. I'm going to go ahead and give you a close-up look at it now so you can see the waffle cone on the top. So here are my two summery drinks up close. The new caramel waffle cone frappuccino over here, and this is an iced caramel macchiato, one of my new favorite drinks as well. And let's go ahead and take a closer look at the caramel waffle cone here. You can see it just looks like a caramel frappuccino, and then on the top is yummy little waffle cone pieces. Here's what it looks like without the lid on, so you can see the waffle pieces. It looks just like waffle cone pieces all crumbled up over the top, and it looks like there's also a little caramel drizzle there as well. This is my caramel macchiato. You can see the layers here. The iced caramel macchiato has layers, and they're kind of the coffee is starting to work its way down into the milky layer. I get mine topped with whip and caramel drizzle because I just happen to really love it that way. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and try the caramel waffle cone drink for the first time and see what it tastes like. Okay, so that's what the drink looks like close up, and now I'm going to give it a try. First off, I will tell you that it doesn't have a really distinct smell straight off the bat. I'm not smelling a ton of caramel, but it's probably because the whipped cream is kind of locking in that smell. The little waffle chips, the little crumble pieces of waffle cone look delicious on top. I love that they did that. I think that's so cute. Okay, so now I'm going to see what it tastes like. Incredibly caramely, almost too caramely for me, and that's saying a lot because I really love caramel. I can just like eat straight caramel sauce. I love it so much. This is very, very sweet at first taste. I'm going to stir it around a little bit just in case it got a little concentrated at the bottom. Okay, that helped a little bit to settle it down. I think some of the syrup had kind of gotten to the bottom a little bit, so it's probably a good idea to really stir these up. If it's been sitting, perhaps it starts to melt a little bit. There's something in it I can't quite place, some flavor that I'm not placing quite. There's definitely another flavor in there besides just straight caramel, so it's definitely a distinctly different drink than the caramel frappuccino. I would still say caramel frappuccino would be more my favorite than this. It's a little more subtle. This has some flavor in it that I'm tasting that's very sweet. It may be their attempt at the waffle cone flavoring, but I'm also not picking up the actual just waffle cone flavor, so I'm not sure about that. I'm going to take a look at what is inside this drink and see what that flavor might be. Okay, I'm back. I went and I printed out some information from my computer about this drink on their website. I had read it earlier, but I didn't remember everything that it said it had in it, so I thought I would get this so that I can tell you more about it. It's the Caramel Waffle Cone Frappuccino blended cream, or blended beverage, and they do make it as a blended cream as well if you don't want the coffee. And it says that they blend waffle cone flavored syrup and dark caramel sauce into the coffee, milk, and ice, and then top it with whipped cream and real pieces of waffle cone, and then add more dark caramel sauce. And it says it's a carnival delight all grown up. So I think that that's what I'm tasting. The difference between the regular caramel flavoring, it's definitely that it is a dark caramel sauce. So it's definitely, you know, a more full-bodied, sort of almost like the burnt sugar, but not like all the way burnt, but closer to that burnt sugary flavor. And then whatever the waffle cone flavored syrup is probably giving it that other sort of interesting other flavor that I can't quite place. I think that that is the waffle cone flavored syrup. So I'm going to go ahead and try that again with those in mind and see if I can pick out some of those flavors a little bit more and then tell you what I think. Okay, so it is good. It's a good drink, but it's definitely a different taste, not just straight caramel. It's definitely a darker caramel. So you're getting sort of more aromatic caramel, a little richer flavor, and definitely very sweet. The waffle cone syrup also adds a really sweet element as well, and definitely a distinct taste. It's not a bad taste. It's just very different, not what I was expecting. It's a pretty good drink. I don't think that I would get this all the time. And I actually asked my daughter as well. She is trying out the Frappuccino blended cream, and she said the same thing, that she liked it, but it wouldn't be something she got all the time. So perhaps it's just a little on the sweet side to be like an everyday beverage. Now I'm going to go ahead and try some of the waffle pieces as well and see what they taste like too. The waffle cone pieces are really, really yummy. I love that. I think that's a nice little treat on the top of this. And now I'm going to try some of the whipped cream here where they've put some of the dark caramel syrup and see if I can pick out any of those flavors. I really love the flavor of the dark caramel drizzle on the top. It's actually really lightly colored, much lighter than you can see here, the regular caramel drizzle. But I can still taste it, and it tastes really good. So I think that the flavor that's maybe making it overly sweet for me is probably the waffle cone syrup. So yeah, I actually think that this is really a fun drink to try out. It's probably not going to be my new favorite go-to drink or anything like that, but it's definitely a fun treat. I love the waffle cone crumble on top. I think that's absolutely delicious and a super cute idea. I think that the flavor is certainly a fun idea, and I really have to applaud Starbucks for coming up with some really creative new flavors this year. I really enjoyed trying out their smoked butterscotch and their honey caramel. And yeah, they're just coming out with some really, really fun new beverages this year. And this caramel waffle cone Frappuccino is no exception. I'm really enjoying it. And it's definitely a fun drink that we'll all have to try out. I'm sure my husband will like to try this out as well. Then talking about my iced caramel macchiato, this is still in the #1 spot for my favorite summer cold beverage. I really love this. It's just so good every single time. I love adding the whip and drizzle. That's something you have to ask for. It doesn't actually come with it, but it's delicious. It really adds a lot to the drink, I think. And it's just really, really good every single time. So definitely a good caramely flavor and some nice rich coffee in there as well. And just perfect, right amount of ice and everything. It's just a great drink for the summer, I think. So now one last sip of this. Yeah, definitely a very strong, sweet drink, but definitely a fun and new and interesting flavor. So that is the Caramel Waffle Cone Frappuccino, a fun new drink from Starbucks. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe for more videos from April's Home. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.